Hi guys, Anel Tunes here from African Mixmaster. I'm a professional mixing and mastering engineer. In these episodes, we're sharing skills on how to mix African music so that we get that pro sound but still keeping the African touch, keeping that African gravity in the music. And you're looking at the reverb. To me, I look at reverb as a mirror. What you feed the reverb with, that exactly it will give back. Let's look at the reverb and see the main features of a reverb. I'll change my reverb here to a simple one. I'll use this reverb here, which is the Reverb or the Renaissance reverb. This is a reverb made by Waves. It's a great sounding reverb, very beautiful and very simple to use. Let's listen to our lead vocal here, lead chorus, with the reverb. I will overdo it so we hear the effect.
Takupa mapenzi zena 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 zena.
So let's try and set it to the most favorable settings so we hear it sit on that vocal so well and so nice. Let me first try and experiment something here. If I set the pre-delay at 0, that's to say, we'll listen to the reverb.
Takupa mapenzi zena 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 zena.
We hear the vocal is fully in the reverb. Then if you set the pre-delay on a higher value, like we push the reverb a little bit behind or much behind, let's listen.
Takupa mapenzi zena zena zena.
You hear something like a delay. So you hear the reverb comes after the dry vocal has come through. That's what the pre-delay does. So it's always very good to let the dry vocal come first and then the reverb come later. But it's not very good to give a very long space between the dry vocal and the reverb. So we have a technique that we use to help the reverb sit in the mix properly. That is, you get 60,000 and you divide it by the tempo of the song. For example, in this particular song, we have a tempo of 160. So we get 60,000 divide by the tempo, which is 106. We get 566. But still, on our pre-delay meter here, we don't have that value. It's too big a value for our reverb here. So what we do, you have to divide the value that you get by 2 until you get a closer value that can fit within the reverb and does not create a very big space between the dry and the wet vocal, between the dry vocal and the reverb itself. So we go, you divide by 2, you say divide by 2, you get 200, still big, divide by 2 again, divide by 2, you get 144, okay, still too big, divide by 2, a figure less than 50 or not more than 50 would be good. Again, divide by 2, we get 70, okay, still we can divide, even that can work, but let's go more. Divide by 2, this is to my test, by 2, we get 35, so 35 can work for us. So we put here in this, on the pre-delay, we set 35. Okay, so let's listen.
Takupa mapenzi zena zena zena.
Yes, you hear the delay is there, but it's quite little, but you hear the dry vocal come out fast. So in the mix, okay, though the reverb is still too much, then we have what we call the time. The time is how much the tails of the reverb keep going after the vocal has been stopped. For example, if I set a very long time, or on some other reverbs, this is called the tail. If I play in solo, you hear those long tails. That is the time here in this particular reverb. Some of the reverbs, like I said, it's called the tail. We have to set it to a value that we feel is close enough, not very long, but sits within the mix. But since because we have set a pre-delay at a value calculated by dividing the tempo. So that means these tails will be musical, will be sitting within the mix and the tempo of the song. They won't be so obvious, but they will be felt within the mix. So let's listen.
Takupa mapenzi zena 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 baby.
For me, I feel that's a very good tail. I don't want tails so short. Neither do I want them so long. So to me, that sounds good. It's up to you. You can choose what sounds best. There is no rule for the tail. It depends on how you feel on your gut and on your ears. Okay. So we go on. Then I'll come to the EQ here. So I don't want the highs on my reverb. I just want I don't want the reverb to be so with sibilances. I just like it to be kind of a little bit dull. Okay. So also remember here at around 100 there is nothing really going on there by our EQ. So I cut that out also. And let's listen.
Takupa mapenzi zena 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 zena.
So you hear the reverb is not with sibilances, not really highs. So that means it won't be so obvious. It will sync within the mix very well. If your reverb does not have an EQ, you can apply an EQ after the reverb and then reduce the highs. Likewise, the reverb is like the doubler, like we saw in the previous episode. We only send a signal to the lead voice. It's not an insert effect, it's a send effect. So you apply it on an aux track or on a bass, depending on the software that you use, and then you send an effect of that reverb to the lead voice or to the recording. But you control it depending on what you want, on how you want it to be. So let's try and listen, and as we try to pull down the reverb just a little bit to feel like it's sitting well.
Takupa mapenzi zena 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 baby.
Without.
Takupa mapenzi zena zena zena.
It's very dry. With.
Takupa mapenzi zena zena zena.
Very beautiful and very amazing. I just love the sound of this reverb here. Okay, so let's do it in the mix and listen to it. It sounds just so beautiful. I just love the way it sounds. So let's listen again in bypass, the dry vocal. With.
Baby,
and if you listen properly, you cannot hear the reverb. It's not very obvious, but it's there. It's giving the vocal its own space within the mix. Try this out on your own reverbs. Play with the pre-delay, the time, and the EQ on the reverb, even the size. If that matters, you may want a smaller room or a bigger hall. Experiment with these things until you get what you want. Still, feel free to comment below on this video, or you can subscribe to my channel and get more of the skills and techniques of mixing African music. You can also email me on africanmixmaster@gmail.com, or follow me on Facebook or like my page on Facebook, which is African Mixmaster. Feel free to comment below in the comment section on this video, or you can even write me an email or send me your mixes so I can give you an expert opinion and help you get a right and good African sound. You can send that email on africanmixmaster@gmail.com. Again, Anel Tunes here from African Mixmaster. I'm a professional mixing and mastering engineer. See you in our next episode. Ciao.